Hello, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm turning on the lights. How are we doing? It's me, Miss J, and here I am once again in the lovely Champagne Rooms Productions home office in my Sesame Street jammies. You can't really see it, but it's Cookie Monster and Oscar and Elmo and Big Bird. And I just thought I would come and do a little makeup check-in now that it's almost 3 in the morning. I don't know if anybody's going to stop by. I don't know if anybody's going to chat. If not, I'll just chat to myself for a little while and then hang it up. First of all, these nails, I don't know if it's going to capture on camera, but they've got almost like a little bit of a subtle cat's eye that's like pink to gold. So cute. Love these. But look at this makeup, and you may be able to tell from my wet hair, this makeup went through the shower with me because I got home and I hopped in the shower, and then I was like, I just was so tired, but I was like, I want to go on YouTube and chat a little bit. And just after, as a little follow-up to my last little video. And hello, CJ, nice to see you. Welcome. I know that it's very early, so I appreciate you joining me. Or late, early. It's the morning time. But this makeup, for having been in the shower, can we talk about how cute she still is? Now, the lips are gone. At the bar, we went to this bar called the Tap Room, and they don't have their own food. So they are fine if you bring in food. And somebody from the show that I was in tonight ordered pizza. And so I had pizza. So my lip combo is pretty much gone. It was the ghost face, the newest ghost face. Let me change this to live chat so I don't miss anything. Not that I think there's going to be a ton of people chatting, but CJ, if you and I decide to chat. And so here it is. Now the lip combo, like I said, is destroyed. This black lip line, very aggressive. It definitely sticks around. But this eye look, now I didn't spray water directly on my face, but obviously I did wet my hair, and so some water came down my face. And for having water-activated liner brows, I feel like this looks pretty good. I feel like this is still looking pretty good. Now these lashes are questionable. Let's go ahead and take off the lashes. We are going to de-drag. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, God, it's stuck there. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that was a journey. That was a whole journey. And I'm rough and raspy because we were talking late. We closed down the bar. I have not closed down the bar. I don't even know when. I can't even tell you the last time. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so, yeah, she still looks good. She still looks good. No, my little star on this cheek still looks like a star. There's there's some water. You can kind of see where some water maybe came down the side of my face. On both sides. But yeah, so we're looking generally pretty good. But these nails are just so cute. I had to show them off because I'm about to take them off. So I thought, I wish it would capture them better, but you can kind of see down at the base, they go to that blackish gray, but down at the base, they've got that pink into orange, pink into gold. And now we're going to peel them off. Oh, I am tired. I am tired. We talked about, in my last live, we talked about how this week has been a bit of a shit show. I've been dealing with a cold. I'm still kind of froggy. And then I had 2 days back at work that were horrendous and made me rethink every life choice I've ever made. So that's fun. Ow. Okay. The nail glue that comes with Kiss Nails is pretty good, but sometimes it's too good, if you know what I mean. Okay, we've got that. One more on this hand. Is this content? Is this content sitting here picking my nails off? But I want to take off this makeup, but I have to take my nails off to do it. How are we doing? How are you doing, CJ, since you are here with me in the live? How are you doing? Is this content? I don't know. I don't know if it is. Oh. There's probably a fetish site out there somewhere. I mean, there's something for everybody. If only the people who love this sort of thing could find me. If only they could track me down. Oh, 3 to go, 3 to go. Some of them come off so easily, and then there's always got to be like one or two that just like they refuse. One more. Oh. Ugh. No, I'm not drunk, but I am maybe a little bit tipsy. The reason why I bring that up, so this is the zero, the orange. I love this zero orange. And bathe when the housemates are asleep so that no one needs in there. This is good. Yeah, I'm a late night person. I'm a night owl, but here it's like 3 a.m. It's like 2:51. So it's getting a little late for me, but I'm usually not like going live at 3 a.m. But so let's go ahead and put on some fabulous makeup remover. Now I did order, I've got some Blend Bunny Unveil on the way, and they've got their new micellar water. Oh. So the Unveil is the cleansing balm. This is horrific. Every time we start doing this, it's like melted clown situation. And of course, do I have makeup wipes here? Nope, I sure don't. All of my makeup wipes live in my office. And I was like, oh, I should keep a jar of remover, because I come here after drag shows. I don't go all the way back to my office. And but did I think to have makeup wipes ready? Nope. So I've got paper towel, like a classy broad. So we're going to it's a little rough on the skin, but we're going to do a treatment after this. So yeah, so we had our show. So if you didn't catch the earlier live, or if you missed the part where I talked about it, I was in an improv show, and I forgot the name of the troupe. The troupe is called the Fools Brigade, and they are the Fire Hall Theater's improv troupe. And so they're doing 4 shows 4 weeks in a row, and they're doing like a shorter improv scene work at the beginning, and then the second half of the show is this longer form series of scenes, and it's based around the idea of a soap opera. So it's called Fool's Anatomy. It's a hospital soap opera, and then they have a like celebrity guest who comes every week. And so I was the celebrity guest this week, and I played Dr. Charlena Bevins, who is very loosely, parodically mirrored off of Dr. Marlena Evans from Days of Our Lives. So there was a lot of demon possession. There was a lot of there were a few Days of Our Lives fans in the audience, and they appreciated the attention to detail with some of the references to old Days of Our Lives stories going all the way back to the 70s. We did reference Marlena's twin sister. Is it Samantha? Because Deidre Hall has a real twin sister who played her twin sister on the show, who got murdered by the Salem Strangler. So, and that was like a shock, because I don't know if she had been on the show before. They just show like what you think is Marlena in a window, and then like she gets murdered, and then it turns out that it's the Salem Strangler. And then they find out later that it's not Marlena, it's her sister. And I don't know if her sister had been on the show. If she had, she'd only been in a couple episodes. And so we talked about some of the plot points, and there were a couple scenes where I came in and I was like possessed by the devil, and it was a good time. All right, so I'm going to try to stand up and not like flash whole. This isn't my OnlyFans, it's my YouTube. So let me, I set up my mom's mini fridge over here, and I put some little face masks over here. So let me grab the face mask. Hello, fabulous Joe. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us so late at night. I just came back from the show. We closed down the bar, and I have had a couple ciders, and I wasn't in the mood to just jump right into bed. And so I was like, you know what? I jumped in the shower because I needed to get the hairspray and stuff out of my hair, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. But no, I was like, let's come on, let's de-drag, let's do a little facial treatment. So we just washed off the makeup with the Zero Cleansing Balm in the Mandarin Orange scent. And now we've got, these are the Amora face masks from Five Below. I can only find them now in the tea tree oil. If people are Five Below shoppers, let me know if when you go to your Five Below, do you still see they had vitamin C ones that were in like an orange and yellow package? And I can't find them anymore, and it makes me sad because I like the tea tree oil, but I also really liked the vitamin C. Oh, so let's put that on. And then because I'm extra, all the time extra, let me go ahead and grab my red light mask that's been sitting here charging, so it's ready to go. Let's go ahead, and I like to do red light the first time, and then we can talk about what I want to do for the second 15 minutes. Because you can actually, it's probably going to drip out the bottom, which is gross, but it'll just hit my nightshirt. But yeah, so you can use these wet masks. You can just put the mask over it. And I find that like having it in here, it keeps it moist longer. I know some people don't like that word. But here we're doing a little red light therapy with my 80s movie villain hair that we have going on here. It was like parted down the middle. I used to do that in the 90s. I used to do a bowl cut. It was parted right down the middle, and then it was shaved underneath. Girl, what was I thinking? What was I doing? It was the 90s. We all had weird bowl cuts. We just did. Oh, how are we doing? How is everybody feeling? I'm feeling all right. I'm glad that I got out. It was fun to go do the show. It was fun to go hang out with the tap room with some people, and yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. I don't, like I said, I don't go out a lot. I don't. That's one of the things that I've always like said, especially to like justify my makeup shopping, is I'm like, you know what? Some people go out to the bar and spend $60 in a weekend. So why wouldn't I spend $60 on a palette? Like, it's just your choices and your priorities. So tonight, the priority was not buying makeup. It was going out to the tap room and hanging out with friends. So yep, there's definitely some goop along the bottom of this. That's why I have a like dedicated washcloth that is just for wiping out this mask when it's done. It sits here by the computer. Although now I've put my lashes down there, so I need to clear the little spot for it. But yeah, so how's everybody doing? How is your evening going? How is your late night going? Are you having any late night adventures? Can you still understand me when I've got this dumb mask on and I like have a terrible scratchy voice? Like, is this content? Is it content? I wonder that multiple times every time I go live when I get distracted by something and I'm just like, is this content? Is it? I look like the gayest, laziest slasher in a slasher movie. Like, it was supposed to just be a mask, but I put like a red light into it. And I'm like, I would kill her, but I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm too busy, like, doing red light therapy. Somebody else kill her. I'm busy. So yeah, we're very excited to be here. Oh, yeah, oh, this would be quite the look. I look cute in this. My skin has never looked better. So smooth, so shiny. Came back Aruba, 6 gate changes, 4 plane delays. Oh, Joe. Oh, got home at 5:30 a.m. instead of midnight. Has to go straight to get the doggo, drop him off at home, then straight to basketball. I bet you are tired. I bet you are tired. I hope it was a fun trip. I know you got sick on the trip. I hope you had some fun. I hope you relaxed. I hope you got to have some beach time, all of that kind of stuff. I hope it was a good trip. Yeah, because that sounds like quite the day. I always, and I know some people they can't do it. I know it doesn't work out. Hey Dion, how's it going? I know some people you can't do it. It doesn't work out. You use all the PTO for the vacation. Whenever I go anywhere, I try to put like a day on the end where I can just like collapse. And so if something goes wrong, I've got a buffer. Oh yeah, I'm glad you were only sick that one day because this has been lingering all week. And I know that it was just exhaustion. It was just running around doing too many things. Ugh. Sometimes the mask starts to slip underneath here, but yeah, I do really like it. So this is fun. Yeah, I'm glad some people stopped by. CJ and Dion and Joe, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I just was feeling it, and I let me tell you, it was a great time, and I'm glad that I did it tonight. I do also know that I have a pattern. And so back when I got divorced is when I went through like I was going through like one of my biggest depressive episodes ever right before I got divorced. Like it was bad. And so then after I got divorced, I kind of became like a functioning alcoholic, like not a binge drinker. I was one of those people that was always just a little bit in the bag, but I kept it together. And because it was constant, like I would go home on my lunch break and have like a glass of Kool-Aid with vodka. Like I just kept a big jar of Kool-Aid and vodka in my fridge at all times. And I just was always just a little bit in the bag. It was bad news. And I like, let me tell you, what turned it around was the Real Housewives. Sorry, this mask is falling. I need it to pull back up a little bit. I need it actually on my face. And what turned it around was the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because I was watching, they would have these marathons. So if anybody has watched Bravo, I don't know if they still do it this way, but like they were always in seasons, right? And you never had two different groups of housewives on at the same time. It would be Orange County for a series of months. It would be Atlanta. It would be New York. It would be New Jersey, Potomac, whatever it was. And so they would have these like marathons, but the marathons wouldn't be the whole season. Even if almost the whole season was out, what they would do is on a certain day, they would play, like if a new episode was coming out at 7, at 5, they would have 2 episodes before that. At 6, they would have 1 episode before that. At 7, they would have the new episode. And then they would repeat those 3 episodes in a marathon for hours. For hours. Like when they would have, like, oh, we're having a Housewives Day. It was 3 episodes over and over and over again. And so I was like a little bit in the bag, as I always was. And then I'm sitting there and I'm realizing that I've started the rotation for a third time. And I was like, that's when I had to have a serious talk with myself. And that's when I had to say, girl, you are turning into a Lifetime movie. You're watching Bravo right now, but you're turning into a Lifetime movie. So you need to get that shit together. And I poured the Kool-Aid down the sink and we stopped having Kool-Aid with vodka every day. It was like 3 weeks to a month that we were like riding that train. And I was like, maybe this is just who I am now. Maybe this is the thing. And I come from alcoholism. My father was an alcoholic. I don't know if he ever like acknowledged it. I don't know if he ever went to meetings. He absolutely was an alcoholic. I don't know if he ever turned any of that around. It doesn't matter. We were estranged when he died. I don't know. I don't need to know. But yeah, I was like, you need to stop because you're turning into like a cautionary tale. And that's not what we want. And so dumped out the Kool-Aid. And that's when I canceled cable. So that's when I got rid of cable. I was like, you have Netflix, you have 1,000 DVDs. You're going to be fine, girl. You don't need cable. You don't watch anything on cable except these fucking housewives. And it's the same goddamn episodes over and over and over and over and over again. And so that was a turning point. So I was like, so tonight was fun, but I was like, I also have to like watch this. It's like, we can't go out. We can't go out all the time. We just can't. We can't do it. We got to have limits on this. And so it was fun. Sometimes when I have a show, I go out a little bit more. And there's not a lot of bars I even like to go to. The tap room is great, because it's quiet. You can have a conversation. You don't have to scream at each other over the loud pounding dance music. Yes, thank you, Dion. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was touch and go for a while, but she came through. And I have to tell you that like my divorce was probably the best thing that happened to me at that time, because it like I was a mess for a little while, and then I got better, because I had gotten into that depressive episode because I was just in a marriage where I wasn't happy and he wasn't happy. I feel weird now, so I have to say I do feel weird. I really believe the author Anne Lamott said, "You own your stories. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better." And I absolutely live by that mantra. But I do feel a little bit weird sometimes talking about my relationship with my ex-husband, because my ex-husband, like, because I sometimes will joke about like winning the breakup and all that kind of shit or whatever. But eventually he did go and get remarried. And that's a whole other story. But in May, I believe, of last year, his new husband actually passed away. It was really tragic. I heard like through friends of friends, we're not connected, we don't talk. Have not talked since then. That it was a big break. Um, and so I feel weird sometimes talking about him, especially now because it's still within like a year, so it's still fairly fresh. But I try to always tell it from my perspective. I can't say what he did or what he intended, or I can only say what my experience of it was. And I think that some of my experiences, especially at the end, were not great, and that's the truth of it. But I do kind of feel a little weird about it sometimes. To be unashamedly mushy, I cannot imagine you not being in my life. You're such a joy. Oh, Dion, that's really sweet to chat and share with. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, there's certainly been times in my life where I did, and really that time around that breakup was one of those times where I wasn't sure I was going to keep going. I wasn't sure I was going to. Right before my husband decided to leave, that, like I said, it was dark. Things got real dark. Things got. There were some definitely some thoughts and some plans and some things that did not occur, and we're glad they didn't occur. But yeah, I'm a severe alcoholic addict. In all honesty, it was pretty horrible for too long. I'll be clean and sober for 7 years. Congratulations. I love that. I love that. I love hearing those stories. And I've been lucky because, like I said, I come from alcoholism, and I'm lucky that, like, I mean, it's probably somewhere on like the spectrum of alcoholism, because when I used to drink more, when I was younger in drag, when I still had all my cartilage and I was young and spry, I used to love a binge drink. I used to love a binge drink. I would love a Long Island tea or seven at a show. And like, but I never had that sort of addictive hook. Like, if I just decide to stop drinking, I just stop drinking. Like, it's never been one of those things. And it's never been something that I did like often. That stint of like 3 weeks to a month was the only time that I drank like every day. Like, I've always been a like, when I go out to party, sometimes I party too hard, but like it's not something I crave. It's not something I would usually order like at a meal. It was just something that, like, when it was party time, it was party time. And when it wasn't, it wasn't. This mask loves to sneak down some dark places in my thoughts. Yeah, it's been rough. And the good thing is I always joke that there's no adult steering this ship, and that's kind of true. But I do have my little like, there is like the rational voice. That's kind of what I call it, is my little rational voice that sometimes is like kicked all the way to the back, and we're like, get back there, bitch. Nobody wants to talk to you. But sometimes when we get to those really dark things, that's when the like rational voice starts to kick in and is like, we should unpack some of this. We should look at this. We should figure out what's going on here. On HRT for 7 years in December, those two things are absolutely connected. I love that. I love that. I'm so glad that you are here too. I'm so glad that like, I'm so lucky that so many people from Dion's community have like found me. and so many people from the vintage toy community have found me, and people who love horror have found me. I love that I find a lot of like interesting people who love a lot of the things that I love, and yeah, it's been lovely. We're glad you're here as well. Oh, I don't know how long I can keep this up because I was like, oh, I'll just take a drink. What do I think I'm gonna do? Like pour it like I'm a pelican? What do I think I'm doing? Yes. Yes, I love all you guys. I'm so glad that we are here and that we're here to support each other. I mean, this is I'm not gonna lie, so much of the credit goes to Dion. Because once I met Dion, so many of the people that come to my chat are like trolls that are like, let's hang out over there too. And so absolutely like Dion gets a lot of the credit for building this really fantastic, amazing community. But wherever people come from, I'm just glad they're here. I'm glad they have a good time. I'm glad we don't get too many ugly trolls. We don't get too many bad trolls. We tend to keep it pretty good over here. So, yeah. So this will just go for 15 minutes and then it'll shut itself off. What color should we do after this? So let me. Oops. I've not mastered spatial skills to figure out. Hooker clowns and trolls were meant to be connected. We're an eclectic bunch. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have different settings. You guys can help me pick the next color. So this does red, which is deep repair, wrinkle reduction, skin rejuvenation. Because I can do this, you can do it up to 30 minutes, and it runs for 15 minutes on its own. Excuse me, hiccup. I don't usually do 2 reds in a row. I find my skin gets a little bit annoyed if I do that, if I do 2 full reds. But there's blue, which is acne care, oil control, calming properties. Yellow is brightens skin, detoxifies, improves texture. Green soothes, balances, and stabilizes. Purple targets acne scars and promotes healing. Cyan boosts metabolism and energy. And white reduces fine lines and enhances skin renewal. So what do we think we should do? What color should we do next? I often do yellow because I love the brighten skin, detoxifies, improve texture. Cyan boosts metabolism and energy. I don't know how real this is. I know that red light therapy has some science behind it. All these other colors, I don't know how scientific that is. I'm the person taking the salt pill, right? Like I'll take the placebo. It just feels nice to pamper myself a little bit. So do we have a choice for color? I'm kind of leaning towards green. I mean, green is my favorite color. Soothes, balances, and stabilizes. The Color Out of Space. Have you seen that movie with Nicolas Cage? Crazy bananas. I think it's on Shudder. It's wild. It's wild. Hey, Dawn. Thanks for joining us. So how do we feel about green? Do we feel good about green? Let me go ahead and see if I can find. There we go. This is, I know it looks really blue, but it is actually green. The goodie bags for the kids. Jason coaches basketball for today is the awards. Oh, I love that. Now, if I was a sleeper, I would sleep. I know I should just go to bed, but sometimes when my mind is awake, I have to just go with it. I just have to go with it. I tried to watch it. It was beyond me, and I did. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Nicolas Cage has made some weird movies. All right, let's see if I can get it back here. Spatial skills are not my forte. I need to finish this. I should try to do some reading tomorrow. This is the book I'm reading right now, which is Forever Barbie, the unauthorized biography of a real doll. I think I'm having trouble finishing it because I've seen documentaries, and there was one specifically that's based on this book. And so there's nothing in here that's not familiar because I've seen the documentary. But still, even with the documentary, it's still pretty good. But I haven't made it very far. I've been reading a lot of horror fiction. If you check out on JanessaJ.com, I do have Janessa's bookshelf up, which anytime I finish a book, which hasn't been often enough lately, I put it over there. But I have been reading a lot of horror fiction. But I was like, you know what? I saw this in the bookstore and I was in the mood to read it. And I didn't realize at the time that I bought this that the documentary I had watched was based on this. Because I saw a documentary that's based on this. And then Netflix has a documentary called Black Barbie, which is about the first Black Barbie doll in 1980. And a lot of it also repeated stuff from in here, although it was more. The first documentary did cover Black Barbie, but much shorter. It was part of the whole history. And so this one repeated some of the stuff that was in here, but then focused more on not only Black Barbie, but like the history of Black dolls and like Black baby dolls and Black fashion dolls and some really like heartbreaking research that they did. Oh, if you haven't watched Black Barbie on Netflix, I think it's still there. I would absolutely recommend it. It's so good, but there are absolutely moments that are so sad. Yeah. Yeah, 1980 was the first Black Barbie. The first Black Barbie that was called Barbie, because before that, Barbie would occasionally have Black friends. She had Chrissy. And let's see, was there another one besides Chrissy? I think it was just Chrissy. And then there might have been a Black Francie doll. There might have been one or two versions of Francie that were done in black plastic, brown plastic. And then they introduced a new friend because when they did Barbie and the Rockers in the 80s, they did friends for her, but so Midge, they had the same face, they had the same hair. It was Midge, but they called her Diva. And like the Chrissy doll became Dee Dee. So they all got new names, all D names for some reason. I don't know why, because it was Barbie, B, and the Rockers. But it was Dee Dee, Diva, Derek, and Dana. The Asian doll, Miko, became Dana. Chrissy became Dee Dee. Midge became Diva. And then I don't think they had a Teresa. Teresa was like her Hispanic friend. I don't think the Rockers had a Hispanic friend, unless Midge was supposed to be. But that was, excuse me, that doll was pretty clearly a Midge. I think it was pretty clearly a Midge. Some people might argue it's a Teresa. I think it's a Midge, but that's for the like really hardcore doll nerds to argue about. I feel like it's a Midge, and I'm good with that. But so yeah, that's a really good one. Has everybody watched? I feel like I've brought this up before, but I also feel like I'm bringing this up to everybody I talk to everywhere I go. Have people watched the America's Next Top Model documentary on Netflix? Because I am fascinated. I am still fascinated. I've seen it all the way through 3 times because I watched it because I started seeing memes and I heard it was out and I was like, I'm gonna go watch that. I'm gonna go see. And I watched it and I was just like mind blown. And then I had some free time or whatever, and I was working on a little project. And I like to put stuff on that I've already seen. And so I watched it again because it's only 3 episodes. It's only like 3 hours, a little less than 3 hours. And then when Mama Champagne was here, I was like, you have to watch this America's Next Top Model documentary. And so I made her watch it. And she's like, oh, have you seen this before? And I was like, yeah, I have. Oh, yeah, I'm fascinated by it. I'm so excited. Sometime this year, I don't know if it's going to be a true Hollywood story or if it's just going to be an docu-series, but the channel is doing one that Janice Dickinson is involved with. So I'm very excited because Janice is kind of a powder keg. And she did say some awful things on there. But like the scuttlebutt that I've heard from like channels that do like podcasts and cover America's Next Top Model, she's like a loudmouth and she'll just say shit without thinking. But apparently the scoop for most of the girls is that Janice was like the nicest. Like Janice would say terrible things and she saw it as like telling the truth. We all know that bitch, right? We all know that bitch who's just like, well, I'm just telling the truth. And it's like, well, actually you're being kind of a bitch. But so Janice, I think she was like, she just would talk without thinking, but actually cared about the girls versus some of the other people on the show. So hello, Dawn. Did I say hello to Dawn? Hello, Dawn. I think I did. Yeah, I'm trying to get you worked up again. Yeah, we were talking about it last time. Yes, Joe, it's so good. It's so good. And it shows you like how manipulative they were because I remember, so if you guys remember Shandy, it's kind of a spoiler. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Which some people might already be like, duh, I figured that out the first time, but they were so good at manipulating people with the editing because in cycle 2, there was this girl named Shandy, and Shandy was like small town, worked at Walgreens, had never really been out of her town, had never been anywhere, had never been out of the country for sure. And like then she was in like the last like 4 or 5 or 6, the ones where they take them internationally, and they went to Milan. And so in Milan, they had to do these go-sees. And what they did is they arranged for these 5 like hot guys, like male models, to show up on Vespas, like little scooters, and they drove them to the go-sees. And then that night they were like, production was like, well, what if we had the guys come over to visit you tonight? Would you like that? And of course they were like, yeah. So Shandy like drank a lot, and she had this like long-term boyfriend that she was super in love with and who was super supportive. And so they show her in the hot tub, and she's drinking, and she's drinking a little more, and she's cuddled up on this guy, and she's drinking more, and she's drinking, and she's cuddling and drinking and all this kind of stuff. You're gonna tune me out now. Yeah, it is a little bit. We won't stay on this for too long, but and so then like she hooks up with this guy, and they were talking about it. And once you take it out of their like produced storyline, and once you hear Shandy explain like her side of the situation, it's 100% SA. It's 100% SA. She was blackout drunk. There's no way she could consent. And like all of the producers, and Tyra is just like, well, I can't really talk about production because that wasn't my area. She's the executive producer. The executive producer does production. She's like, I don't do storyline. And it's like, you were involved in all that shit. We know that you were. We know that you were. And so she like will not take any accountability. And like Mr. J was like, we were done for the day. We were out at dinner. And then like, but we got word that there were things happening. And the next day, Shandy is like destroyed and crying. And like they like filmed her calling her boyfriend to tell him. And they really, the way they edited it and the way that they filmed it, I remember seeing that. I didn't watch it when it was live, but I remember watching the season and being like, oh, Shandy was cheating on her boyfriend. Shandy was cheating on her boyfriend. I got sucked into it. And like, I'm sure there are some people who would watch that. Well, I mean, I watched Luxaria, who is a YouTuber, a YouTuber who reacts to reality shows. And she's done a lot of America's Next Top Model. And she's really good at like watching it from a more like later millennial Gen Z kind of lens where she'll be like, this is inappropriate. Somebody should have stopped this. And she sees it right away. But I'm like, we were so manipulated. Yeah. Yeah, they only found a phone for her when they needed it for the storyline. For a while, they wouldn't let her call, and she wanted to leave, and they wouldn't let her leave. It was like, it's awful. It's really awful. And then, but there are even so like I was angry for the first 2 episodes. The last episode, I was kind of angry, and then I also ugly cried. There was a section in there where I just like, goosh. Oh, it's so good. You have to watch it. It's so good. So good. Be prepared to be angry. Like it certainly does not calm the rage in anyone. If you're looking for like healthy nostalgia of your early 2000s reality show experience, that's maybe not how to get it because it's definitely, and that's the one that Tyra agreed to be in. So that's why I'm so excited for the Janice Dickinson one, because if this is the one that Tyra agreed to be in, that E documentary is going to be crazy. Crazy. I can't imagine what they're going to spill. I'm so excited because there were some people who like were like, why wasn't this model in it? Why wasn't this model in it? And apparently some of the big models, like the winners and like some of the more popular ones that weren't in that one are in the E documentary. I'm living living. Oh, yeah. I taught models how to walk. That got me. And then not yet. Oh, so good. So good. So good. And then when they're talking, and like Nigel is just being a sweet human being, which he wasn't through the whole thing. I think he gets credit for being sweeter than he is because he's the like straight guy who just kind of like wanders in and he's not controversial or whatever. He even said he was hired to be the like hot straight man. And so like, but I don't think there are times where he doesn't come off as good as like I think people give him credit for. But when they were having that little discussion, the three of them, and Miss J started crying, I was like, oh, oh, so good. So good. All right. Oh, I'm so ready for this to be done so I can take it off. I could take it off early, but I like to let it run the full 15 minutes, especially when I'm doing the. Yeah. Oh my God. Nigel is so sweet in that part. And I think that he's not. I don't, sometimes, why is it that hot straight men get away with so much shit? They get so much credit. They get so much credit. It's kind of like that old, like, the joke, the meme about how, like, an exceptional dad is a terrible mom. Like, if they were doing the same thing, a woman would be called a terrible mom, but a dad would be called, like, an exceptional dad. It's like that. It's like that. Dion, I know. Stick with it. We've got trash to burn. I love it. Yeah, so Nigel, I think he gets credit just because he's cute. He is cute. He's a beautiful man. He's still a beautiful man. He could still get it. He's straight. He doesn't want what I'm giving out anyway, but he could get it. Mr. J, let me tell you, I never thought Mr. J was cute. I thought he was a demon twink. I was not I was not here for it. If you have not seen him, if you've not seen the documentary, Google Mr. J. Manuel now. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's so beautiful. He's such a beautiful man. I was a terrible dad. I'm a great mother. I love that. I love it. He's so cute. And he's like filled out because he was too skinny and he looked like a bitchy little twink. And now that he's like grown into his body, and his face is still, he's, oh, girl. Oh, I still, the filth that goes through my mind about that man. I can't even tell you. Oh, he's definitely on my alternates list. If you haven't seen my hall pass list, because I'm single and ready to mingle, but I have to have a hall pass ready just in case I were to get wifed up. I gotta have a hall pass ready. So I made a video about it. It's on my channel if you search my celebrity hall pass. But I had to have lots of alternates. There's a couple that are there forever. Number one and number two, forever and always. One time they switched places, but they're back now. So number two, I'll just spoil it for you. Number two is Jason Momoa. And my number one is my forever number one. But what did it is that I saw Aquaman on IMAX. Aquaman on IMAX. That did something to me. Oh, I can take this off now. So now I'm not shouting through this mask. Aquaman on IMAX. Jason Momoa, 20 feet tall in that rubber outfit. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, so much better. The face came out of it pretty well. But yeah, I feel like this little mask is helping. I feel like my face is doing pretty well. I've been doing it not every single day. Every once in a while, my face will feel a little bit like irritated and like extra red and blotchy. And I will take like a day or two break from it. But I've been doing it pretty steadily since I got it around Christmas time. So about 2 full months. I like it. I like it. You're polygamous. Autocorrect. Polyamorous. Yep. I Googled. I did too. Isn't he hot? Oh, I love it. I love it. Jason Momoa not attractive? Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine him not being my number two. But IMAX, it moved me. And I was there with my friend who is like, she's religious. She's like cool religious. Like she's down with the gays. But she like had a very conservative upbringing. And like my reaction to Jason Momoa on IMAX, she was not prepared for. I flooded my basement. It was, oh my god, he was so beautiful. So beautiful. His eyes look in different directions. Stop. Stop. Maybe I can't stop looking at his chest. Maybe that's the problem. His pecs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. But he couldn't replace my number one for long. My number one is my number one, will be my number one. Unless there's another Aquaman movie that ends up on IMAX, it probably will be my number one forever. I can't stop. Oh, can't stop, won't stop. And we can't stop. Pretty girl, sorry. But yeah, so I was saying that sometimes, like, if I do it too often, and especially when I have those masks, I really like the way my skin feels. It feels so like squishy and hydrated when I do one of those like sheet masks with the like light therapy mask. I'm so glad they put that in the instructions. I love it. I love it. Oh, so good. Now I definitely have a type. If you've seen the video, you might already know, or you might have just heard me talk about it. Anybody have a guess of who my number one is? Jason Momoa, big, muscly, meaty, gorgeous man. Who do you think my number one is? Oh, 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 oh. Sorry, I've got my phone open, and I got a tap on Grinder. I don't know why I have it open. Grinder at this point in Grand Forks is where hope goes to die. Like it's just there's nothing. But when she's had a couple ciders and she's still awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes she just opens. She does a little window shopping. No shame in my game. Sometimes she just does a little sniff around. Not sniffies. That's a whole other level. I just like gay people are rotted. Like it's bad enough. It's Grinder is bad enough, but Sniffies is a whole new level. Literally a whole new level. Oh, the only thing, and I'm hoping the micellar water from Blend Bunny will help with this. The one thing that I feel like the Unveil doesn't get all the way is like the glue from the eyelashes. I always have eyelash glue residue. And so I'm hoping that if I do the like Unveil to take off my makeup and then do the micellar water to take off the glue, I'm hoping that I'm very excited to try the new micellar water. I think that'll be fun. I'm very excited. Yeah. And now I can put my glasses. Have I worn these? I feel like I've worn these on a stream before. I don't wear these all the time. These are like my occasion glasses. They're from the Iris Apfel collection from Zenny. I absolutely love it. And so, yeah, these are these. I cut something on these and then I tried to wipe it and all I did was wipe it around. I wasn't aggressive enough. I need to be a little bit more aggressive. Since we've had a couple ciders and we're sharing at the bar, it was so funny. There's this woman who is part of the theater community and she was out tonight. And it was so funny because she had this revelation. I don't know who told it to her. I came into the conversation in the middle of it, but she turned and she was like, I thought you'd have my back. But she turned around and she was like, do you think I have top energy? And I was like, is this your first time realizing that? And she was like, what? And I'm like, so we had this whole, it was so stupid because it was mostly like straight people. but they all wanted to know what their energy was, like what their, like if they were a top, a bottom. And then we got real, because there's this guy James who's straight. He says that he's straight. I love that for him. I've always had my doubts, but his energy, when he was like, because then he kind of came over and he was like, what's my energy? And I was just like, you're a pass around party bottom. I'm so sorry to bring this into your world. If you've never heard of that before, please don't Google it. Your algorithm will never be the same. You need to go incognito mode. But I was like, you are a pass around party bottom. Like, you just are. When you're not drinking, maybe not. But like when you're drinking, that's 100% you. That's 100% you. And so then we were trying to figure out what everybody was. And I had a couple ciders, so I shared more than I probably should have. But we were talking through it, and I was like, cider is apparently a truth serum for me, and so I was telling stories that I should not have told. Oh, girl. Because we were talking about the fact that Mother Champagne, if you watch this in replay, I know you're going to keep watching anyway, but just this is where I'm trying to warn you. I'm trying to well, and that, like, I'm more of a power bottom, and like I'm like bossy. I'm a little bit bossy. And part of it is just that, like, the tops that I find are not that good at it. I don't know what, they're just not that good at it. Because the thing is that, like, in every area of my life outside of the bedroom, I am a bitch in charge. I narrate my entire life. Like, my job is doing like video and voiceover, so I'm always talking and explaining. And so when people are into like dirty talk, I have to like have a conversation with them about, if you're saying that you like to dirty talk, I'm fine with that. You go ahead, live your best Ernest Hemingway erotica life. I'm so happy for you. I'm not looking to like narrate my whole experience. So like the ones who like have to ask you so many questions, like they're always asking you questions. Like, I get checking in, like, is this okay? How does this feel? Those kinds of things. But the ones who are just constantly like, yeah, you like that? Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you like that? And the worst ever. The worst ever. First of all, I hate it. I know some people love it, but I don't want you to talk about my pussy. The worst is when they decide to add to that and say like boy pussy, man pussy, horrible. The people who say that, straight to jail. I hate that. But the problem is there's nothing worse than like getting the most mediocre wienering of your life, and then some assistant manager from Best Buy is like, oh, whose pussy is this? Sir, my brother in Christ. It's all I can do to not like turn around and be like, whose pussy is this? I pay the rent here. I pay the light bill. I pay the utilities. I pay the internet. I pay the Wi-Fi. I bought dinner tonight. Like, whose pussy do you think this is? Like, this is mine. You may have a rental. You may get a timeshare. But like this is mine. This is mine. Those fruit snacks are for me. I don't know what you're doing. You came here to like eat my snacks and run up my credit? Like, I don't think so, sir. If you want to do that, you better be able to dick down. You better be able to, I better be dickmatized. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mama Champagne, because I know you're going to watch it anyway. Oh, I just can't. And so because like they're not, so few of them are good at the things I want them to be good at. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying that they wouldn't be a perfect, delightful experience for other people. They're not what I'm looking for. That scene in Waiting to Exhale, yes. Oh, like I'm not saying that they're not good at some things, but like don't come in here and like, oh, I can't. I can't. And that like man pussy is bad enough, but like it's never actually happened to me, but anytime like I see it anywhere or like I come across it where somebody's like, "Oh, tell me about that boy pussy." Like I'm immediately just like, "Oh, I become a nun." I'm just like, the gates have closed. The convent is closed. The gates are locked. Nobody is allowed entrance. Thank you. I think that is horrendous. That is horrendous. And I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but I think that if you love that phrase, you should think about your life and think about your choices. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but I'm going to side eye. Whatever makes you happy. The world's on fire. Whatever, if you love that, then I love that for you. But I would rethink it. I would rethink it. I would rethink it. Oh Jesus, it's too much. It's too much. Oh, it's too much. It's too much. Yeah, this is a late night confessional. We are getting into it. My hair is drying out, and I didn't wash it while I was in the shower. I just wet it down because I didn't want to. I was like, that may be testing the makeup a little bit too much to actually like shampoo and condition my hair. So I was like, we'll clean off the makeup and I'll shower again in the morning. So I just wanted to. I needed to freshen because it was so hot under those theater lights, and so I was a sweaty Betty. So as I was like getting everything off, I was like, I just need to have a shower so that I feel like a human being. And I was in the mood to come on YouTube, and so it was too much. It was too much. It's too much. So we were figuring out what everybody was, and yeah, we had some interesting choices. We had some interesting energies, but everybody agreed that my takes were correct. They felt like some of them they didn't understand, and we had to do some googling, and then they were like, yeah, that maybe sounds like me. And I was like, I'm very smart. I'm very aware. I'm very aware of the energy you give off, especially if you're a straight person who just wants to participate in this like sort of queer naming. What is going on? Oh, Angie messaged me. What's going on, Angie? She was asking me about the brand Flower Nose. I'm getting tired. I don't know how anybody else is feeling. We're at about an hour. This was a fun little late night thing. Thank you, everybody. Sorry that I had to introduce you to that coarse language, but sometimes we just have to speak the truth. We just have to speak the truth. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dion, that part. You better that's the thing. You better make it so good that I literally forget whose it is. And then I'm like, well, I guess it's yours because I don't fucking know who owns this. I don't know who owns this pussy. Like you better figure. I don't know. I want you to like put it down so good that like afterwards I have to like check my driver's license to remember what my name is and where I live at. Like I wanna be fucked stupid. I wanna Mama Champagne. I thought we were done. This is what happens when you're chronically online, and you share too much. You're an oversharer. Mama Champagne is kind of used to it now that I'm an oversharer, but oh, true story. Wait for it. Okay, we can't finish the live yet. Dion, tell us. I'm very excited. Oh, because the puppy. I think I might have talked on a couple of live streams about the puppy, and we talked about the puppy at the bar because, dude said you threw the peanuts. Oh no, is this going to be like an elephant thing? I threw peanuts. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. What is this? Is this a good story or is this a bad story? I don't know what to expect. You threw the penis pillow. Oh. Oh, yeah, because you said, and I accidentally knocked it off. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Men and tops, non-binary tops, trans men, whoever is listening to this that is like of the top persuasion who's trying to lay it down, however and whenever. I couldn't comprehend his words. He did his job. I like it. You just need to bring more because there are marital aids that will get the job done. That, like, if we're just talking about the like basic mechanical functions, I mean, we're living in the AI timeline. We just are. Like, there's other options. And so what else do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? What do you bring? Like, bring something. Bring something. If you're not that good at putting it down, then bring something else. Bring aftercare, or like be cuddly, or be sweet, or whatever it is. Be thoughtful, like whatever it is that you're going to do. Like, just do better. Just do better is all I can say. And I understand that, like, yeah, a fantastic foreplay game, although that's not necessarily my speed. That's I so let me talk about this, because sometimes people get upset, like especially the Gen Zs and the younger ones get upset. And so it's like trying to figure out like what's the best way to say this, because I dated somebody for a while who was like one of those like new feminists, right? And so he was all about the constant consent, which some people need that. And if you need that, I love that for you and you should have that. And consent is mandatory. I understand all of this. But I'm saying that when it comes to consent, when people say that there's like one way for it to exist, that's not true. Like, it's also about communication and like knowing your partner. Because if you are in my bedroom, in my house, which I pay the rent for, and we are naked in my bed, you don't have to ask me like, can I touch your elbow? Like, I don't need that. I don't need that. Have you met me? I'm a mouthy bitch. If there's something I don't like, I can be like, hey, put the brakes on. And I understand, this is the caveat I always have to give. I understand that for some people that's not it, and it doesn't have to be it. But that also doesn't mean that like what you prefer doesn't have to be what I prefer. I mean, it was bad. Like the first time that we slept, it calmed down after a while. But the first time we slept together, it was a little bit like head and shoulders, knees and toes. Like everything was like, is it okay if I do that? And some people advocate for that. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you need that, if you want that, if you desire that, then I wish for you a partner who does that, because everybody should have consent at the level to which they desire and that they require. But I do not necessarily need that. I don't need, like, if you're going to caress my face, you don't have to like ask. It got so awkward, CJ. So awkward. I was just like, what is happening? I feel like I'm on some weird like game show. I feel like Ashton Kutcher is going to pop out of my tiny little closet and just like, you've been punked. I was like, what is happening? And so I was like, I was like, I appreciate that you're trying to be like sensitive to my feelings. But I was like, it's go time. It's go time. Do you notice how neither of us have clothes on? Like, we're good to go. We are good to go. I was like, I'm ready to go. I'm pretty open. If there's something you're not sure about, you can ask me, but you don't have to ask permission for every little move, every little thing. I was like, if it seems pretty basic, like bog standard for like just basic vanilla sex, we're probably okay. And if I'm all of a sudden like, hey now, then that means don't do that. And as long as you follow that, that's the kind of consent I need. If I'm just like, oh, I don't know about that. Or if I'm like, let's talk about that. Because there are certainly some things that I'm not looking for, that I'm not open to. Yeah, consent is discussed ahead of time. And like it's too much in the moment. And I'm just like, I can't. Like, if you had questions, if you had concerns, and let me tell you, he wasn't throwing down anything weird. It wasn't like all of a sudden he pulled out a bag of implements and I'm like, oh, okay, let's talk about this. It was just like, can I kiss your neck? Can I kiss your cheek? Can I kiss your lip? Like, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Like, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Just stop. Oh, he was so cute, though. He was so cute. He was so cute. He was adorable. And let me tell you, the thing that I really liked about him, because he was kind of like, he was studying to be a pilot, and I'm probably giving too much away. Anybody who knows me and like knows the people involved will know who this is, but he was studying to be a pilot, and he like was kind of straight-laced, and like with pilots and stuff, they still have sometimes those weird like dress code restrictions and things like that. So like no visible tattoos, but he had a tattoo down his rib cage and down the side to like his upper thigh, I think. That was like, it was all black, but it was like tiger stripes. And I was fascinated by that. And so like, I probably was a little bit of a creeper, because anytime we were together and like he didn't have his shirt on or whatever, if we were naked, I just loved it. And let me tell you, so I also, when I started traveling for work a lot, I hate turbulence. I'm not good with turbulence. Yes, the late night confessions. I'm not good with turbulence. I don't like it. And that's the thing that I would picture when we would start having turbulence, is that I would just like steel myself and like think about the tiger stripe tattoo. And I was just like, okay, we're going to be all right. Because my previous thing was not working that well. Because basically I would have to, like, any little bit of turbulence. There's something about planes. Because I had never flown as a kid, I flew like one time. Like, we went to Arizona to visit my dad and an aunt and uncle and stuff like that. And so we flew like one time. Like, we weren't jet setting. And so when I started flying as an adult, it just made me nervous. I didn't like it. And so I would have to sit there, and I would have to like, and I would look, and sometimes if like the flight attendant would walk by, I looked crazy because I was sitting there like clenched. But I would just have to tell myself, I would be like, if this plane was going down, other people would be screaming. Like, you're not the only one who notices the state of this airplane. They would have made some sort of like announcement about fastening your seatbelt. They would have said like, we're entering emergency procedures, like duck and roll or whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. Like, but I would just have to sit there, and I would clutch the armrests, and I would be like, if this was happening, other people would be screaming, other people would be upset. And I'm looking around, and people are fine. They're reading their books. They're watching their movies. So I would like, because when they go up and then down, and your stomach like does a flip like a roller coaster, the absolute panic that puts into me. I traveled so much for work for a while that I got a little bit better at it. But that was the thing, is like anytime there was turbulence, and especially during like takeoff and landing, I also don't like those. I would just like picture that zebra stripe tattoo, the tiger stripe. Maybe it was meant to be zebra. I think it was meant to be tiger. It looked more tigery, but yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. All right, I'm going to get to bed. I'm going to have a little bit more of this delicious sparkling water from Aldi in strawberry. And I'm going to get to bed. I'm starting to feel myself droop a little bit, and so I'm like, oh, we're finally ready. I'm going to put on some night cream, and I'm going to go to bed. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed chatting with all of you night owls who stopped by. All of you replay people who stop by, replay crew, you rock. We love and appreciate you. Make sure you circle back around when this becomes a video to leave a comment down below so that you can feed me, Seymour. Feed the beast. Feed that algorithm. We love it. While you are down there leaving that comment, don't forget to give me that thumbs up to tell me that you appreciated this live. Or if you are like, you are a vulgar bitch, I cannot believe the language that you used, I am shocked and appalled. Mama Champagne, if that's you, then go ahead and give me that thumbs down. It is all engagement. The algorithm isn't a piggy bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads and lives. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one live or upload per week. And if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, boy pussy-tastic. Sorry, I couldn't resist. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website, just pretend it's there, The World of Champagne at janessaj.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. I will probably post on my posts tab. I will put up a picture of the finished look with wig and in the outfit, so that you can see a little bit more of Dr. Charlena Bevins from tonight's show. It was so much fun. I'm so glad for those of you who were able to stop by while we were doing the makeup. And then I had so much fun at the show, and then going out, and I had fun chatting with you all here. So I love and appreciate all of you. I love this community. I love everybody who is getting so vulnerable in the chat. I absolutely love and appreciate you. And until I see you again, bye. And now the awkward turning on. Okay, here it's, I forget because I go back and forth with the phone and the computer. All right, bye.